Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Virginia and Laney taking it on the road.
Hitting the road. Remember when we got that van? We went to ALA.
Oh my God. That was so much. Booking it to DC.
So it seems like forever ago.
It does. We got a big magnet, put it on the side of the van.
I have mine somewhere in this house.
You do?
Yeah.
We call it the HarperCollins Shag Van. Unofficially, of course. Yes. And we went to several libraries. We took off and hit the road and went to libraries with the Tiki Hut and a bunch of galleys. And we talked about books, and then we videotaped it, live streamed it, tweeted about it. Oh, it was craziness. And then we ended up at, where did we end up? DC? No.
Yeah. DC.
Well, it was an idea. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of snacks.
We did have a lot of snacks and bobbleheads.
And bobbleheads and puppets.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm sure you could find that somewhere in the bowels of the Library Love Fest channel on YouTube. I guess it's there.
Yeah.
Anyway, how is everyone? We hope you're well. And this is the Library Love Fest team coming to you from Astoria, Queens. We're actually in the same room. Ladies, shake my hand.
Maybe that works. I don't know.
So we're gonna be seeing all of you, or many of you, we hope, Day of Dialogue this week. So we thought what we would do is tell you a little bit about our offerings at the HarperCollins booth. So there we are. Lainey, you wanna take it over and tell everybody what they can expect? Then we'll just expound a little bit. Ooga.
Sure. Yeah. So if you haven't registered for Day of Dialogue, it's a free event, and we'll put that link up in just a minute. But you can register for this free event on the 23rd, this Thursday. You'll go in, it's like a virtual conference. So Library Journal puts this on, used to be in person, now it's virtual. And you can see virtual booths. We have a very lovely virtual booth with all of our author information. And you just click into different author panels, and it's super fun. They're separated by theme, and then we'll have one booth chat, which we'll get to in a minute. But we have 7 authors, and it's an all-day event, 9 to 5. And yeah, come see us, have some fun.
It's pretty cool because you can go around, see the other publishers' booths as well, but you pretty much want to stay in the HarperCollins booth if you want to be sure to have fun.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Anyway, all of this is on our blog, Library Love Fest, where you can find everything. But Lainey and I will be available all day, so chat away. Tell us what you need. Tell us what you're reading. Tell us what tell us anything. We are here at your disposal. So, Lainey, you want to talk about our first author?
Yes. So, well, I'm going to put this in here, guys, so you guys can have booth info is here for you, and how to sign up. That link's there. And then I'm going to go, I made you guys an AO Vice catalog for all of this stuff. So it's just catching up. Catalog. There you go. Okay. So what book do we want to talk about first? Beautiful Little Fools?
Yes.
Okay. This is such a fun read. If anyone's a fan of The Great Gatsby, we have the book you have to read. And I would be really interested to hear people and book clubs to read them both together, because there's going to be a lot to discuss in this book. Jillian Cantor, who we love, she's been on Door to Door before and will be returning later in the month. But
yes. On October 19th.
Oh, next month, October 19th. So Jillian will be at Day of Dialogue. She's going to be in our booth chatting from 3 to 3:20. So that will be in the HarperCollins booth. You'll just click the little booth chat option. But her panel is going to be historical fiction, The Stories We Tell, which is 2 to 2:55. So you'll see the panel, and then you'll come over to the booth and hear from Jillian. Bring a question. She's super excited about it. We talked to her yesterday, and there's a lot to discuss. So this book is like I said, a really fun read, and it's perfect for fans of Great Gatsby because it's the women in Great Gatsby, their story. So Jillian loves The Great Gatsby, but when you read it, and upon reading it again, when you're older, maybe if you read it a long time ago, the women kind of fall flat. They don't really get a voice in it. You know, they're kind of background characters. The men take center stage. So she wanted to rectify that, and she wanted to make their story known. So it goes in alternating points of view between the three women. So Jordan and Daisy, and then also, I mean, you have a little bit of Myrtle, but mainly Myrtle's sister, who is in town. And so you get to kind of see what happens. We all know what happens in The Great Gatsby, but I won't give it away if you don't. And what happens in this mystery, and you get to hear their own take on it. But it starts off, the book starts off with the detective on that last day when something has happened. He finds a diamond hairpin, and so he knows one of the women that have been at the Great Gatsby house, at the Gatsby house, not the Great Gatsby, the Gatsby house has to have had something to do with this mystery. And so now he takes each of them and talks to them. And so it goes back and forth between when they were younger and friends, before they met Jay, and then while they meet Jay, while they meet Tom Buchanan. So it takes you through the whole story and goes back and forth. And it's really, really fun. And I think that if you are a fan of Gatsby, you'll enjoy diving into that world. And maybe if you want more of the women, then this is perfect for you. And there's a really great quote from Kate Quinn. It says, Cantor beautifully recrafts an American classic in Beautiful Little Fools, placing the women of The Great Gatsby center stage, more than merely beautiful, not so little as the men in their lives assume, and certainly far from foolish, but both fresh and familiar. This page turner is one to savor. It's a good quote. And it's really true. That quote, Beautiful Little Fools, if you're a fan of the book, you know, Daisy says that about her daughter. She wants her to be a beautiful little fool. And so I think that's a really, really cool quote to expand upon. And Jillian has some really cool behind the book stuff. I'm not going to give it away because I want you to come hear her talk, but she did put a lot of research into this one. So that's Beautiful Little Fools by Jillian Cantor.
And that is a beautiful package too. And I can't wait to have her on Door to Door, because she can only have a certain amount of time to talk at Day of Dialogue, but she's great. So looking forward to having her on. Mark your calendars. And Lucy Foley, well, we don't have much to say because we haven't gotten that Gala.
Yeah.
Yet.
No, it's not available as an e-galley, but it's going to be another locked room mystery that she's well known for. You know, she was a Reese Witherspoon pick. And I think I have the year. What was the year? Okay, well, it doesn't have the year, but a book of the month and a Reese Witherspoon pick. So Lucy Foley is much beloved in the mystery world. It's a locked room mystery, obviously set in Paris, which we love. And it's all the people in a building, all the people who live there. So like the concierge and the girl on the verge, an alcoholic that lives there, like all of these people come together and you have to solve it for a missing person, which we love Lucy for. So
they're all, yeah, and they're all sort of it's really cool that we have her for Day of Dialogue. It's very exciting. Yeah, so all these people are sort of like sketchy, a little bit sketchy, who she goes to, and her brother's neighbors, and everybody's got a story. No one's talking. Go next. Who else?
And so I've realized that these were all ones I'm talking about, but they just lined up that way. So Paris Apartment, Visceral Thrills, 9:30, and then the next panel will have two of our authors, 10:30 to 11:10, literary speculative fiction mix, which is Woman Eating by Claire Coda and How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. These are two of my favorite books of the season. I love these books so much, and they both offer something very different, but they're very, very interesting reads. One kind of dark humor and the other just beyond beautiful. Like one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. And it's just, the language in it is just amazing. So Woman Eating is about a woman who is a young mixed race vampire, but also a half vampire. So she's got a lot of duality in her life, and there's a lot of metaphor there, as you can imagine. But it really plays out as just a really dark humor read. If you read Exciting Times by Nisha Dolan, that kind of gives me the same vibe. It's got like a millennial read, but also just the dark humor. Like the main character, Lydia is half vampire, so she has this kind of insatiable need to eat, but she's always obsessed with her half Japanese father, like her Japanese father's half that wants to cook all the beautiful food. So she spends her time like watching videos of people cooking this elaborate food that she can't eat. And she just really wants that for herself. And so not only is she physically insatiable, like she can't fill that need, but she feels very unfulfilled in her life. She's a budding artist and she wants to work at this big art museum. So she has an internship, but she's also living at this artist collective kind of on the down low. They don't know here. She's not supposed to be living there, but it just brings in a weird cast of side characters as she's trying to figure out her life and how to take care of her mother and what that means for her future, because it kind of seems unending. But it's really funny in some ways. She spends her time watching like Buffy, so that's pretty funny in the background. And this was bought in like a really quick weekend preempt, and the editor who works for Harper Via, this is the Harper Via title, she was saying like it went so quickly and it's already got film rights sold for Heyday Films, which made Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So this is going to be a really exciting book. And I think she launched it to us and said it was some book, I don't remember, combined with Twilight. And I was like, sign me up. That's what I need right now. And it was what I needed. It was a really fun one. So you have some speculative in there. And then we have the other book on, going the wrong way. The other book on that panel is How High We Go in the Dark. And this one's a little different. This one is a book that centers around a world-altering, universe-altering plague. A group of researchers uncover an ancient body, and a virus is unleashed on the world in modern day. And then the book continues to go back and forth in time, both ancient world and through way in the future when they can't even inhabit Earth anymore. And it's really beautiful. I think people are really scared about a plague book, but it's really not about that. He started writing it before COVID and before all of this. But it's really beautiful because it's about human connection. And there's a lot of fun stories with kind of wacky things. So that's where the speculative comes in. There's like test pigs that have human capacity for feeling, and robot dogs. Like there's a lot of fun things, but it is really sad, and it did pull a lot of heartstrings. But like I said, it's not about this illness. It's about how they're rebuilding their world and finding each other after, and how much family counts no matter what. So I really love this book, and I encourage you can listen. It has a audio e-galley, so you guys can listen to this one. I hope you check it out. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking, but those are like two of my favorite books. So I'm excited.
Some serious excitement going on there, Lainey Mays.
Yeah, I know. I'm very, very excited. So, okay.
It's great.
Thrills to Ponder.
Thrills to Ponder. Notes on an Execution by Danya Kokafka. This is our season's lead read, which, as you know, is one book a season. Gets the sales department gets behind it. There's a team of readers that pull all the manuscripts that are available together, and we take a look and whittle it down, and then there's a vote. And what book is going to have the most reach? What's going to be, what's going to get that wide readership, and what's this really, that's what's got that special something that can really, tick a lot of the boxes for a lot of different kinds of readers. And Notes on an Execution by Danya Kukafka is the lead read for the season. It's a crime thriller, a literary suspense. It is it's about a man named Ansel Packer who's scheduled to die in 12 hours. He's on death row, and now his time is come. And as he's awaiting execution, he's looking back on his life. He's thinking, he doesn't want to die, but he wants to be understood. He's misunderstood. He hoped that it wouldn't end like this, not for him, because he's special. This is what's really neat about this book is that it looks at it doesn't celebrate the serial killer. It also doesn't objectify the women in that it is not, there's no gratuitous violence. It's off the page, which I love. It's the story of the women whose lives he's affected. So you see you see his past unravel through his mother, his wife, her twin sister, and the female police detective who is obsessed with getting this guy and capturing him. And so it's there's a really interesting piece in Edelweiss behind the book essay written by the author, and it's about how she's so sick and tired of the light, this being on the Ted Bundys. It's why it's not, it shouldn't ever be about them. It should be about the people in their wake. And so this is about this man, starting with this man. It's captivating. It'll grab you in from page one. And then you learn what his life was like, starting with when he was born. And you see how he comes to where he is. Never once making, well, I never felt like, I felt so sorry for him. He's not, naturally, nothing is justified, but it's just sort of a, I don't know, it's like she's just taking this apart. You've got to read the behind the piece essay. It's so good. And it's just about the glorification of these terrible men who are really just, they're not the ones whose names you should know. There's a novel, and it will suck you in, and it won't let you go. I'm telling you, there's a reason this is the lead read. It was a perfect pick. Lainey, do you agree?
Yes. Yeah, it was lots of love for this one. I kept seeing people quoting it like in-house, just how much they love this book.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I haven't spoken with anybody yet, who doesn't feel the same way. I will always say that if it's true. And if some people are like, shmeh, then I just don't bother saying that. And no one has said that about this book. What am I not telling you? It's a portrait of the women. That's what you need to know. And I can't wait to hear what she has to say. She is, this is her second book. Her first book was Girl in Snow, which was a national bestseller, Indian Next pick, BNN Discover pick. She now is a literary agent, and really can't wait to hear her at Dave Dialogue. Next. Oh.
Yeah, so next is our history panel, 1:00. This is a very important book. So South to America by Imani Perry. Let me grab this one. This one, so it's nonfiction, and it's all about the history of the South. It comes from Imani, who's a Hughes Rogers Professor of African American Studies at Princeton. She also teaches gender and sexuality studies, law and public affairs. And so she has this round background of all of this, but also she is a native of Birmingham, Alabama. So she wanted to kind of look at all of the South in a broader picture. And this breaks it down. Each section is different states and different areas. And it's all about immigrant communities or contemporary artists or other like enslaved people and their stories from the past, or just other stories of her ancestors and people who have had those experiences living in the South. She wants to show a full view picture of the South and go a lot against a lot of the thoughts you might have and the understanding of the South as it is, or even stereotypes. And she is a Black woman and a native Alabamian, so it's really fun to see fresh eyes look at these areas and tell stories that are so different, and renders the South as a place that is truly a place for people from all walks of life, but being really honest about it too. It does have a lot of past. So putting those together and looking at that together. And so someone from the South, this really intrigues me, but I think even people who are not from the South might want a grander, broader view of it. So we're very excited to hear her. And that history panel, did I say it was at 1 p.m. on Thursday? And you can get that e-galley and go ahead and start reading. And then we talked about historical fiction for Jillian Cantor. So the last one.
Yes, is Valorio by Xavier Navarro Aquino. This is from our Harper Via imprint. And this is a literary novel that's set in the wake of Puerto Rico's Hurricane Maria. And it follows a group of survivors who follow this idealistic but troubled cult leader. This, important to note, will be simultaneously published in English and in Spanish. I don't know if I'm saying this character's name correctly, but well, Aquino is this assistant professor at the University of Notre Dame. Let me get to the description of it. So Camilla, we meet Camilla. She's haunted by the death of her sister Marisol, who was caught in a mudslide during the hurricane. And she's unable to part with her dead sister. And so she's carrying her through the town, past the churchyard, and to this supposed utopia. They're following this cult leader. And so he's got this vision for this new society, and one that in his eyes is peaceful and democratic. The paradise that he preaches lures in the young, including Bayfish, a boy on the cusp of manhood, as well as a woman whose outward toughness belies an inner tenderness for her friends. So this is a story, Valorio means wake, and it's a story of strength and resilience and hope and possibility. The author was raised in Puerto Rico. He's written for Tin House and McSweeney's. He's currently an ACLS Emerging Voices writer, fellow at Dartmouth. There are some really incredible quotes here that I want to read to you. This is Justin Torres, national bestselling author of We the Animals, says Valorio recognizes that neither utopia nor dystopia are finite states, that they exist alongside and even inside one another, like the hurricane and the eye, the empire and the island. The author takes us on a riveting, harrowing journey through the aftermath, where the natural violence of the storm is compounded by disaster capitalists. The dead haunt the living, impossible decisions are made, and seemingly impossible futures are born. Chigozie Obiama, the author of An Orchestra of Minorities, says Valorio is a novel reckoning with the tragic event of the Great Puerto Rican Hurricane and a vibrant examination of quiet lives. It is assured brilliant debut from a new gifted writer. There are terrific raves about this one. There's a lot of excitement in-house. That book's coming out January 4th, again, in English and in Spanish. Check it out. He's going to be in the Aiming to Heal program from 3:30 to 4:30 in troubled times. So it's the best way to pull ourselves together. Read that book and you'll find out.
Yeah,
Cool,
and I put the Spanish version in the AWS catalog for you guys too. So
cool. Now, let's see. So we've got Dave Dialog covered, right?
Indeed.
Okay, so you all are going to go there and check it out. Now, are people watching?
Yeah.
Are there people watching Love Fest right now?
I asked you guys who you're the most excited to see, or if any of these authors excite you, so let us know.
Oh, good. Jane Jorgensen says, have to move notes up on my TBR list. Yes, you do. And Katie Sober wants to know if it's weird that she's always wanted to be in a locked room mystery, just not the body.
I was saying, as long as you're the one figuring out the mystery.
So listen up, you guys. Now, that's Day of Dialogue, but we wanted to just talk to you about a couple of things. It's a very sort of loosey-goosey day of dialogue, door-to-door today, because obviously we don't have an author today. We are right now a family of two, but we'll be a family of three again soon, and you will meet our third fairly soon. Yes, there is a third who's crazy enough to join our team, so you will be learning more about that person. Couple things we want to say. There will be no door-to-door next Tuesday, the 28th, because we have planning meetings where we're planning books from 2025. I don't even know. But door-to-door will return on October 5th at 3 o'clock, special time. We'll send out a note to remind you all. But a couple of things that we want to talk about, some books that we're loving. And before we go too long, me blabbing away, let's just start right now by raising a glass.
Oh.
Da, 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 da. Lainey Mays, the fearless one, the one who can balance more plates in the air than anybody I know, has received a well-deserved promotion from marketing coordinator to marketing associate. And I want to raise a glass to you, my friend, and congratulate you. And thank you for such hard work and for keeping us above water and occasionally flying. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. I will take it and do my grandest.
You've done your grandest. It's amazing. I mean, there's a lot going on here. We were dancing as fast as we can. My goodness gracious. But Lainey keeps us going. So more in podcasting and interviewing authors and setting up our virtual booths, and you wouldn't know all the things that she does, but she does a gazillion things in front of the camera, behind the camera. I'm just really excited. So congrats, Lainey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, would you like to talk about Wanda Morris?
Oh, I always want to talk about Wanda Morris.
Talk about Wanda Morris.
Let's pull up our lovely e-card.
Yay!
So Wanda Morris, All Her Little Secrets. We just spoke about lead read. This was our lead read for the fall season, and it comes out on November 2nd. So you still have time to download and read an eGalley. Library Reads votes are due 10/1, so got a little bit, guys. So this is a really great Karen Slaughter quote. I was going to let you read it before I go to the next one, but if you don't like Karen Slaughter, that quote is amazing. But look at all of these quotes. Like, this has so much buzz around it, and this book is so beloved by everyone in-house and so many people out of house, librarians. I know a lot of you have read it, and if you have, please write in and tell us. But I had a podcast interview with Wanda, and we also had door to door with her and Lori Rader Day, and we have a link to all of that information that you can watch it, listen, all of that we'll put in just a second. But this book is really special. It's our first, I think, trade paperback on the lead read list, and it is a thriller about a Black woman who lives in Atlanta. She works for as a corporate attorney for a transportation company, and she has some secrets in her past. So it goes back and forth between when she was younger and when she's in present day. And she comes in one day to see her boss, who she just happens to be also having an affair with. But she comes in early that morning and he is dead. I'm not giving anything away. He's dead, like the first few pages. But she finds him and she chooses to run and doesn't call anyone, just runs because of secrets in her past, even though she didn't have anything to do with this one. And she is quickly looked at by the police. They think maybe she had something to do with it. Maybe she has a past. She also is moved up the rung to take his place, and she is the only Black person, but also Black woman in that higher meeting room. And so it's a lot about tokenism and what it's like to work in a corporate environment when you are the only person that looks like you at the top of the rung, or even just like being a woman in those politics of a big company. It's a really cool look at that and the nitty gritty of what that corporate culture is, but also the back and forth between the scenes of when she's younger are really beautiful and very heartfelt. And so that's what I'm going to say about it. We love this book. Virginia, I know you do too.
It's all right.
Well, it's okay. Karen Slaughter thinks it's great. So
no, Lainey, can you switch back to the other
Yeah.
side? We love the Karen Slaughter, but I feel like like these quotes, if you put them all together, I think gives you a very good idea of what this book is about. Lainey's just done a great job. But if you didn't hear what she had to say and you just looked at these, it so
Right.
positions it so well. And also, I think that cover is so good because, as Lainey said, it goes back and forth between when she was a kid and a rough beginning, and then she's grown up, and she certainly has paid her dues and she's made her way in the world, but not without its marks. If you look at that reflection in that sunglass of her as a little girl, it's just, I just love that because you meet her when she's a little girl and of what she goes through, and that she has this, just when you think she just isn't going to get out of where she is, she gets out, and she's lucky that she does. And sometimes it's just luck, and sometimes it's sometimes luck is on your side, and sometimes it's not. And so you learn about her brother who didn't get out. And there's so much to this because it's more about this Black woman who doesn't really see herself represented in this company on any sort of a higher level there. She knows why she's there. There's this whole story behind why she runs away when she sees this man dead, who she's had this relationship with. That's a strange reaction. And then you've got this whole story about her family and her brother, and it's just so good. And I don't know. I feel like we've been talking about this book for forever. There's a reason for it. It's so good. If you are the voting kind, please, you have about 10 days left to download it, read it, and hope that you love it and vote for it. It's a debut novel, and this is a fabulous author, and this is an unforgettable read. So
she was on the cover of Library Journal for August. Like, that's crazy. She's worked so hard. Like, this book took like 13 years in the making. I happen to know her personally. We had a great podcast interview, which I thought was super fun. So hope it gives you a little behind the book. And I was lucky enough to see iterations of the book before it went to agents even. And it was there she can write. And she worked really hard to get that book where it needs to be. So.
Yeah. The tricky thing about telling somebody that you work in publishing, and I really don't mean to sound like that person, but there is always somebody who's got a book in them. I have a book in me. Everybody does. Everybody has a story that they'd love to write and tell. And so when somebody tells you that they have a story that they love, it's like, oh God, I have to read it. And then I don't like it. Oh my God, that's not the case, because we wouldn't be babbling like Brooks for the last 3/4 of a year about this thing if we didn't love it. And so there's that. But if you do have a book in you that's pretty good, let us know. Like it, sort of. Okay. What else do we want to talk about before our hour dwindles?
Yeah, let's see. Just a quick shout out for Instagram, if I can. So I just want to remind you that we had a really great takeover by Jack Guinness, who was the editor for the Queer Bible last Friday. You can go see his posts now, so you can go check them out after the fact. But that was a really great anthology of all of these essays written by big people. Like Tan France had one from Queer Eye. Like, there's so many great essays by and about people who are in the queer space that made a big difference. So I hope you go check that out. That's on our Instagram page, Harper Library. And then this week we have A Double Life by Charlotte Philby. So I really hope you can tune in and see some great posts. It's a thriller. It's super fun. There's let me pull it up. There's a great quote by Lucy Foley we were just talking about. It says, a seriously stylish, hugely compelling mystery, Charlotte Philby redefines a male-dominated genre with her brilliantly complex female characters. I was utterly gripped. And it's a kind of a spy espionage book. So hope you check it out. And that will be on Friday, the 24th. Oh, I think you're muted.
Okay. And let's see. We want to hear from you people. We miss you. All right, here's the thing. This is Lainey. Lainey and I were talking today, and I was like, you know what? What are you not getting or what do you need from us? What do you want to hear more of? If you all are thinking, I wish they would do more nonfiction, or we were thinking about perhaps doing a sort of book club idea where we have groups of you sign up to read some galleys, and then we actually have a conversation when we love that you guys want to, oh, that's going to the top of my TBR list. And we love, love, love that. But, we are open to anything. We are like a spaghetti factory. We're cooking it and we're throwing it on the wall. And some things stick and some things don't, or some things stick for a while and then they start to harden. So, or do you want to see us cook more? Because that was super fun. Anything that we can do to help you, because in the end, we are here to serve you, to let you know about our books. And I don't know, just to give you the heads up on things. So anything that you can think of that we're not doing, that you would, don't be shy. It's us. You're not going to hurt our feelings. So please, 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 we're going to put the work in anyway. So if there's anything that you would love to hear more of, or a different format or something, don't be shy. Throw it our way and we are all ears. Okay. We can keep doing what we're doing, but sometimes it's fun to mix things up. You can only sit in a tiki hut for so long. You can only sit in your bedroom for so long. Well, we'll probably still be sitting in our bedroom for a while, but anyway, just throwing that out there. So write to us. Now, Lainey.
Like book clubs in the chat they like the idea of the book club.
Oh, good. I like a book club idea. Yay. Okay. Well, keep them coming. All right. Good, good, good. Please email us, put it in the comments. We'll look at everything. Don't be shy. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? We love you guys and we just want to make it easy for you. All right, let's talk about some books that were, okay, we talked about Valorio, Bright Burning Things. Oh my God, in heaven's name. People, run, don't walk. You must read Bright Burning Things by Lisa Harding. You must. It's so good. I know that's very impossible. It's like, all right, that's great. I'm glad that you think it's so good. What is it about? Well, it's about a woman who is, it's about a woman who is addicted to alcohol, and she is also raising by herself her 5-year-old little boy, about to be 5. And that is the bones of the story, but there's so much flesh to this story. This is not Shuggie Bain. Of course, everybody's going to think that. I thought that. I love Shuggie Bain. This renders hope at the end without giving away too much, because nothing's tied up neatly anyway. But we interviewed this author. She's from Ireland. It's set in Ireland. The author was an actress, has now stopped that, and now she is writing. The character in this book was an actress that went by the wayside, and she's struggling. She's struggling with confidence, her place in the world, how to keep her parental rights to this child, even though she's doing things that are not smart because she's drunk too much. But she loves him dearly. She loves him beyond measure. But she's not in control of herself when she goes off the rails with the drinking. And it's so tough. There are so many quotes on this. I'm gonna find I think it was Lisa Tadeo, who said that it was claustrophobic. And that's how I felt when I read it. It felt claustrophobic, but not like, I don't want to read this, like, oh my God, this book has got me in its grips. That's how it felt.
A good
right?
word. Yeah.
Good word, right? It's Lisa Tadeo says, on every page there are little shimmering bombs. She's the author of 3 Women. This is her American debut, this author, Lisa Harding. She's written in the UK. Now I'm trying to find the title. Harvesting. That won the 2018 Kate O'Brien Award and was shortlisted for the Irish Book Award. She's a great writer, but this is her American debut, and it is about addiction the powerful pull of addiction and the power of love. And I'm not, you know, I hate that sound by the power of love. You think of the song, but that's what it is. It's not the pull between, I don't think it's like either or. You know what I mean? It's not like the love of the drink versus the love of the child. It's the love of the child versus the disease of the drink. And it's just so honest and raw. And it just ticks all the boxes, boy. She gets these characters so well. I just can't say enough about it. I just think, at least today is the one that said it is almost claustrophobic, but in the most glorious way. Love that quote. Lainey, do you want to add to it? Because we interviewed her. The link is there. You can watch it. She's just fantastic. We had a great time talking to her. Publishers Weekly gave it a starred review. Lainey, what do you want to say about it?
You know, I was thinking about when we talked to her prior to the recording, and she mentioned Willie Vlotton. And you know, when someone says they like Willie Vlotton, we all are like, okay, we automatically love you. But and I kind of get that, because in his books, a lot of the people are kind of down on their luck or like going through something. And in this, it's easy to dismiss people who have these issues, and you get why she feels so insecure in her career and her motherhood and everything, and how she can be driven to need that security blanket. And I think she does that so well, and you really care for her, even if she's making so many mistakes, but you really care about her. And I listened to the audio book because the ALC is available for you guys, and the author reads it. And at the beginning, she said, I was so fast recording it, but it really does feel like that. Like she's just trying to get 10 steps in one direction, but drinking is kind of making her fall one step behind for every 10 she thinks about, you know? And it does feel claustrophobic in a good way, where you just feel for them so much, and she loves her kid. It's really beautiful. And yeah, that's all I would say.
Yeah. Library Journal gave it a starred review as well. Readers won't soon forget this viscerally raw immersion into addiction. Publishers Weekly starred review, this unflinching portrait of a troubled, tender soul takes readers to the depths of the human heart. She does make you feel for her. I never want to throttle her. I just want to coddle her or something.
I just want someone to be her parent. Like, you know, like someone to parent her that she wants to give to her son.
Exactly. Oh my God, she loves him so much. You've got to read this book, you guys. You've got to, please, and watch the interview. It's really cool. It's really, really wonderful. So glad we have that book. Okay, 2:45. My goodness gracious, where's the hour gone? Lainey, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, first of all, Casey Davis wants John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. John Douglas is the FBI guy, and is the Mindhunter, inspiration for Mindhunter. And I agree, Casey. I don't want to say that would be fun. That would be an interesting episode because it's darker subjects. But yes, that's a good suggestion. I just wanted to talk about this book I'm reading right now, Fake by Erica Katz. So you might know Erica's name from her debut book that published last year, The Boys Club. August 2020 is when that came out. That one was really, really fun and a good debut. Erica, for these two books anyway, her debut and her second one, Fake, which comes out in February, they follow a format of kind of a like a police or a deposition. And so the start of every chapter has a questionnaire between the main character and either whoever they're talking to, whoever's investigating something. And so in Fake, her second book, this is about a woman named Emma. She works for an art forager. So I didn't know this. You probably know this because you're all librarians and you know way more than I do. But there are places that make fake paintings for museums to put up when they're being cleaned, or the real paintings being cleaned or sent off to another exhibition. I didn't know this, but there are companies that do that. So she is an artist, but she could never be kind of the best artist. So she kind of fell to recreating the greats. And she did it so well that one of their clients has picked her to recreate some art for him on the DL and get some side money. And he gets her a job at one of the leading art galleries in New York. And she kind of gets thrust from like no money to she's eating ramen noodles every day to like on a private plane going to Hong Kong with him to set up for this gallery. And so in the background, you also have all of the people in the art world and kind of the prestige, but also the question of, is it really that? Like, do they really know what they're talking about, or are they good marketers? And then you have a friend that's an Instagram influencer who kind of is using her leg up in the world to get herself on the rise on Instagram. And so kind of an exploration of art in that way. You know, she's using Instagram to show art as well. It's fascinating, and she's being looked into for, you don't really know at the beginning what she's being looked into for, but she's asked questions about this new person she's been hired by and if she knew anything that was going on. So you kind of unravel it as you go as she gets on her rise. But it's a really fun read, and I enjoy the deep dive into the art world, which I don't know much about, but I find it fascinating. So that is Fake by Erica Katz, and it comes out in February. And let's see, is the Galley up? It should be. Yeah, because we have Gala. Yeah. Oh, it's not, but it's coming soon. And if you guys need something to read, I can help you out. So
Hook you up.
Yeah.
Makes me think of that Melissa McCarthy movie, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Although that was about forged signatures, and it's such a good movie based on a true story. Israel. Kooky. Okay, so a book that I want to talk about that's not coming out for quite some time, but I am quite smitten with this book. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about this one because this is a novel called By Design. It is the story of Anne Lowe, Society's Best Kept Secret by Piper Hughley. I believe I'm saying her name correctly, and I hope that I am. So this is the story of Anne Lowe, who is Jacqueline Kennedy's wedding dress designer. Anne Lowe was a Black woman who made some of the most famous dresses of all time, and she's largely forgotten. And now sort of making a reappearance. I think there was an appearance in the Halston docuseries, and she's sort of making a little bit. Her name is coming around again because people are like, oh, the book about Anne Lowe. Oh, the book about Anne Lowe. So the book, it goes between 1918 Tampa and 1953 New York City, and she is raised in Alabama. She learned how to sew from her grandmother and her mother. Her grandmother was a former slave, and she has a very rough beginning. This woman, Anne, she's only 12 at the time when she elopes with a much older man, who turns out to, of course, not be a good idea at all. But there's not much her mother can do, her dreams of becoming a designer, which is all she really wanted to do, is sort of put on hold. And when a wealthy Tampa socialite sees her talents, offers her this amazing opportunity to sort of, she taps into this gift that she has of being a seamstress. And so that takes you into 1953 in New York City. And it's a week before the society wedding of the year. Jacqueline Kennedy is going to marry John F. Kennedy, and she is making her dress. I'm not going to say anything more than that because the fun is in the read. However, some of this is not fun when you read about her childhood and what she went through, and you already know who she is. It's the subject of the book. You know that she is the woman who made Jacqueline Kennedy's dress. So the book really is about her life and how the hell did she get there from where she started from, is what I mean to say. It's really something when you really learn about her life and about her inner strength and about the people in her life and the people who shouldn't be in her life. It's they're calling it The Gown in Camelot, but it's an own voices story. And it's a remarkably true story, and it needs, you need to read this. She needs this recognition. You need to know her name and you need to know her story. And it's a page turner. And I want you to read it and I want you to tell me what you think, because I think it's amazing. The author is an English professor at Clark Atlanta University, and she's done incredible research on Anne Lowe's life. So this is by design. It's not coming out until June. We'll be talking about it a lot more, but trust me, this one delivers.
Here's the author's image photo. And then I've shared that link. I just Googled Anne Lowe, but we don't have the right to those are Getty images. So I put it in there if you guys want to look up on your own.
Yeah. Very exciting. And I think, is that it?
Yeah, we just maybe a reminder about these precious days. I know we have some fans listening in, and we can share the Facebook Live.
Oh my God. So we had Ann Patchett on Facebook Live just last week, I think. I remember. And she was on with Elizabeth McCracken to talk about these precious days. Elizabeth McCracken, of course, Bowl Away and Here's Your Hat, What's Your Hurry? And of course, Souvenir Museum, which was just longlisted for the National Book Awards. So exciting. And this was a fabulous conversation between these two genius writers. And the focus was on Ann Patchett's book. Elizabeth said, no, I really, really want to make this, everybody knows about Souvenir Museum. She was on Facebook Live with Kristen Laney when the book first came out, when Souvenir Museum first came out. That you can find on Library Love Fest's Facebook channel, YouTube channel. But These Precious Days is these wonderful essays written by Anne. I flew through them. They are, it centers on this friendship that she has with this woman who worked for Tom Hanks. She ended up being almost like a lifeline to this woman who she met. Tom Hanks read the audiobook of Anne's, and she became good friends with him. And then Anne met his assistant, and they became friends. They became, acquaintances, and then got closer and closer. And then when she was diagnosed with a terrible illness, Anne had her, they became even closer. And I won't ruin it. It's a story within a story, and it's within the pages of These Precious Days. So These Precious Days, the center is the story of Anne's relationship, her friendship with this woman, and surrounded by that are these wonderful essays about life in general, about writing, about learning how to write, about friendships, family, dogs, books, anything you can think of that you would imagine Anne Patchett talking about. That's in These Precious Days, and she's just so wonderful. And there's no good place to stop with that book. It's just so good. And this friendship at the core will just knock you flat. I tell you, that's it. Ann Patchett. And there we are. It's 2:54.
Yeah.
So you'll see that link there. That interview. Highly recommend you watch it because it's really cool. It's just two authors talking about anything and everything, and it's fabulous. We barely say a word. It's great.
Yeah, I also put the Souvenir Museum we did it with Cynthia D'Apri-Sweeney. So I put that in there too.
Right. Yeah, I missed that one. Anyway, so that's it. It's my God, Lainey, where'd the hour go?
I know. We have great books. Just can't stop talking. I know that. But hope to see you Thursday, guys. And we'll be in the booth all day. So not only come to the booth for Jillian's talk at 3 p.m. Eastern, but also come talk to us.
Bring some questions for Jill.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Don't forget that next Tuesday, my phone's ringing, sorry. Next Tuesday, we will not have a door to door. We'll be back the following Tuesday at 3:00 with the third person in our department. Big reveal. Lady, we should wrap her up like we wrapped you up.
Yeah, just we'll give her eye holes and she can just wait for 30 minutes. It'll be fine.
Oh man. All right, everyone. Well, take good care. Thanks for joining in. Keep those comments coming. We're open to all suggestions. We want to deliver the goods. So whatever's helpful to you is helpful to us. Please, seriously, just, let us know. It's us, for God's sake. All right. And congratulations again, Lainey.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Well earned.
It's all for the books and it's all for you guys. So let me know if there's anything you need. I'm here for you.
All right. Well, we'll see you at Day of Dialogue, we hope. And until then, take good care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.